The Crimson Dontha colony of New Terra had been humanity's pride for 15 years, nestled in the Epsilon Eridani system. It housed over 200,000 souls who had traveled across the stars seeking a new beginning. Farmers tended crops under alien skies. Engineers built cities that touched the clouds. Children played in parks where earth flowers bloomed alongside native vegetation. Life was peaceful, hopeful, and full of promise. That peace shattered on a morning that started like any other. Colony Director Marcus Webb was reviewing agricultural reports when his communication terminal erupted with emergency signals. Red alerts flashed across every screen in his office. He jumped from his chair and rushed to the window overlooking the main settlement. What he saw made his blood run cold. 3 massive ships hung in the sky above. New Terra. They were unlike anything in human records. Dark hulls covered in angular armor plating. Weapon sports glowing with an ominous purple light. The ships were enormous, each one easily 5 times the size of humanity's largest freighters. They simply appeared without warning, without hail, without any attempt at communication. Marcus grabbed his communicator and opened channels to Earth Command. This is New Terra Colony. We have unknown vessels in our airspace. Request immediate assistance. His message shot across space at faster-than-light speeds through the quantum relay network. It would reach Earth in minutes, but minutes might be too long. The alien ships opened fire. Purple beams of energy lanced down from orbit and struck the northern district of the colony. Buildings that had taken years to construct vanished in explosions of superheated plasma. The agricultural center where families worked disappeared in a flash of light. Marcus felt the ground shake beneath his feet, even though he was 5 kilometers away from the impact site. Evacuate everyone to the underground shelters, Marcus ordered through the colony-wide system. This is not a drill. Get underground. No. Across New Terra, people ran. Parents grabbed their children. The elderly were helped by neighbors. The colony had drills for emergencies, but nobody had ever imagined this. Nobody had thought they would actually need the shelters. More purple beams fell from the sky. The medical facility exploded. The central power station went dark. The spaceport where supply ships landed became a crater. The alien vessels were methodically destroying everything humanity had built. They showed no mercy and gave no explanation. They simply killed. Marcus stayed at his post, coordinating the evacuation even as explosions rocked the administration building. His screens showed him the death toll, climbing with each passing minute. 300. Dead. 500. 800. His people were dying, and he could do nothing to stop it. Admiral Sarah Morrison received a distress call from New Terra while attending a military review at Luna Command. She was humanity's highest-ranking officer, a woman who had spent 40 years in service protecting Earth and its colonies. She had fought pirates, stopped smugglers, and maintained peace across human space. But she had never faced an alien threat. Nobody aid. Humanity had been alone in their corner of the galaxy until now. Play the message again. Sarah commanded. Her staff replayed the transmission from Marcus Webb. She heard the panic in his voice, heard the explosions in the background, saw the footage of alien warships raining death on defenseless civilians. Her jaw clenched. How many colonies have been hit? 6 so far, Admiral. Her tactical officer pulled up a star map showing human space. New Terra, Horizon Station, Armstrong Settlement, New Beijing, Port Freedom, and Genesis Colony, all under attack. All reporting heavy casualties. Sarah felt something cold settle in her chest. This was not random. This was coordinated. Someone had decided that humanity needed to be eliminated, and they were doing it with brutal efficiency. What do we know about these attackers? Nothing, Admiral. They match no known configuration in our databases. Their technology appears significantly more advanced than ours. Our colonies have no effective defense against their weapons. Sarah looked at the map showing 6 red markers where human settlements burned. Over 500,000 people lived in those colonies. Most of them were civilians. Families. Children. People who had never held a weapon or thought about war. They were being slaughtered. Assemble the Security Council immediately. Sarah Ordered full emergency protocols. I want every ship captain, every station commander, and every planetary governor on the line in 30 minutes. We are going to war. The emergency council convened in a secure chamber, deep beneath Luna's surface. Holographic projections filled the room, showing military leaders from across human space. Every face wore the same expression: shock, mixed with anger and fear. They had all seen the reports. They all knew what was happening. Sarah stood at the center of the chamber and began without preamble. Humanity is under attack. We have lost contact with 6 colonies. Estimated casualties exceed 200,000 and climbing. The enemy has not attempted communication. They have not made demands. They are simply killing our people. Governor Chunamar spoke first. Do we know who they are? What they want? Negative. Sarah pulled up images of the alien warships. We are calling them the Crethians, based on symbols detected on their hull plating. Analysis suggests they are an expansionist empire. They likely view our territory as theirs, and are eliminating what they consider an infestation. An infestation? Captain Rodriguez of the destroyer Vigilant spat the word. They are treating us like insects, because they think we are weak. Sarah, Saith, they scanned our colonies. They analyzed our defenses. They concluded we cannot fight back. In purely conventional terms, they are correct. Our standard warships cannot penetrate their shielding. Our weapons are insufficient. If we engage them with our current fleet, we will lose. The chamber fell silent. The reality of their situation pressed down on everyone present. Humanity had spread across the stars, believing they were alone. They had built colonies and stations and ships designed for exploration and commerce, not war. Not this kind of war. Then what do we do? Governor Martinez of Europa asked. Surrender? No! Sarah's voice cut through the chamber like a knife. We fight, but not with the fleet they expect. She entered a command code into the central holographic display. Authorization: Morrison Alpha 77. Access Phoenix Protocol. The display changed. New information flooded the screens. Schematics of warships that looked nothing like standard human designs. Technical specifications for weapons that seemed impossible. Construction facilities hidden in asteroid fields and deep space. Numbers that showed resources diverted from public budgets for decades. What am I looking at? Captain Rodriguez asked. Insurance. Sarah replied, 30 years ago, we discovered an abandoned alien facility in the Kuiper Belt. It contained technology far beyond our understanding. Rather than announce this discovery and risk panic or conflict, Earth Command created a black project. We reverse-engineered the technology and built weapons in secret. We hoped we would never need them. We were wrong. Asterisk. She pulled up images of 12 warships, unlike anything humanity had ever fielded. They were sleek and deadly, covered in armor that bent light around it. Their weapons included directed energy cannons, graviton projectors, and something called a quantum disruptor that could tear apart matter at the molecular level. Lizara Uwer. Phoenix.
Class. Warships.
Humanity's hidden sword. They have been in deep space for 10 years, fully crewed, fully armed, waiting for a threat that justified their existence. That threat has arrived. Governor Chun studied the specifications. If we had this technology for 30 years, why did we hide it? Why not build a proper fleet? Because the moment we revealed these weapons, every species in the galaxy would know what we were capable of. Sarah explained. We would become a target. The Phoenix Protocol was designed to be revealed only in humanity's darkest hour, when our very survival was at stake. That hour has come. She looked around the chamber at the faces of humanity's leaders. We will send the Crethians one warning, one chance to cease their attacks and withdraw. If they refuse, we unleash everything we have built, every weapon, every ship, every technology we have kept hidden. We show them what happens when you threaten humanity's extinction, and if we lose. Captain Rodriguez asked. Then, at least we die fighting. Sarah replied. but I do not believe we will lose. The Creathians think they know us. They think we are primitive. They are about to learn how wrong they are. The vote was unanimous. Earth would send its warning and prepare for war. Sarah Morrison was given full command of all military forces. The Phoenix Protocol would be activated within hours. 12 experimental warships would emerge from their hidden berths and move into position. Weapon satellites disguised as communication relays would arm themselves. Every defense platform, every military installation, every soldier would prepare for the fight of humanity's life. Sarah recorded the warning herself. She stood alone in a simple room with just a camera and her uniform. No theatrics, no dramatic music. Just a soldier delivering the most important message in human history. This is Admiral Sarah Morrison of the United Earth Defense Command. I am addressing the forces currently attacking our colonies. You have killed over 200,000 of our people without provocation or warning. You have destroyed settlements that took decades to build. You have treated human life as worthless. This ends now. She paused, letting her words carry weight. You will cease all hostile actions immediately. You will withdraw your forces from human space. You will leave our territory and never return. This is your only warning. You have 12 hours to comply. Her expression hardened. If you continue your attacks, if you ignore this warning, you will face the full military might of humanity. We have weapons you cannot imagine. We have technology you do not understand. We have been preparing for this day for 30 years. You chose to make us your enemy. You will regret that choice for whatever time you have left. Sarah leaned forward slightly. 12 or worse. Cease attacking or witness our true wrath. There will be no negotiation, no mercy, no second chance. Chuse wisely. The message was broadcast on every frequency human technology could produce. It reached the Crythian fleet in minutes. On the command ship, Eternal Dominion. Supreme Overlord Vex received the transmission and watched it with his tactical staff. When it ended, he made a sound that his species used for laughter. The humans threaten us, Vex said to his officers. They speak of hidden weapons and secret technology. They are lying. We have scanned their entire system. We have analyzed their capabilities. They possess nothing that can harm us. His weapons officer gestured to the tactical display. Supreme Overlord, perhaps we should exercise caution. Their message seemed confident. What if they do possess unknown capabilities? Vex's eyes narrowed. In Crythian culture, questioning a superior was dangerous. The weapons officer realized his mistake, but it was too late. Vex moved with shocking speed and struck the officer across the face with one clawed hand. The officer fell to the deck, blood flowing from the wound. We are the Crythian Empire, Vex said coldly. We have conquered 40 systems. We have eliminated species far older than these humans. They are young, weak, and desperate. Their warning is nothing but a bluff. To buy time, he turned to his fleet coordinator. Increase attack intensity. Target Earth itself. I want their homeworld burning within 6 hours. The order rippled through the Crythian fleet. 150 warships adjusted course and accelerated toward Earth. They moved with confidence. They moved with certainty. They had no idea what was waiting for them. On Luna Command, Admiral Sarah Morrison watched the enemy fleet's movement on her tactical display. They were not withdrawing. They were not stopping. They were heading directly for Earth with clear hostile intent. The Crythians had made their choice. Sarah opened a secure channel to every Phoenix-class warship. All Phoenix units. This is Morrison. The enemy has rejected our warning. You are authorized to engage with full force. Show them what humanity is capable of. Make them regret ever finding us. Across the solar system, 12 warships received the order. They had been waiting for this moment for 10 years. Their crews were ready. Their weapons were charged. Their orders were clear. In hidden berths throughout human space, the Phoenix-class vessels activated their drives and began moving toward their targets. The Crethians were about to discover that humanity had teeth. Very sharp teeth. Asterisk Thunder and Resolvel Crithion Armada entered Earth's solar system like a plague of locusts descending on crops. 150 warships emerged from jump space in perfect formation. Their dark hulls reflected the distant light of Sol as they arranged themselves into attack groups. Supreme Overlord Vex stood on the bridge of eternal dominion and gazed at the blue planet hanging in the darkness ahead. Earth looked peaceful, vulnerable, and utterly defenseless. Began planetary bombardment preparations. Vex commanded, target major population centers. First, I want this species broken completely. His tactical officer worked quickly at the sensor station. Supreme Overlord, I am detecting unusual energy signatures throughout the system. Multiple contacts appearing on long-range scans. Vex dismissed the concern with a wave of his clawed hand. Human defense platforms. We detected them on our initial scans. Their weapons cannot penetrate our shields. Ignore them and focus on the planet. But the contacts were not defense platforms. There was something the Crithians had never encountered before. Something humanity had kept hidden for 3 decades. Something that was about to change the balance of power in this corner of the galaxy. Forever Captain Marcus Webb commanded the Phoenix-class warship Retribution. His vessel hung in dark space beyond Neptune's orbit, completely invisible to enemy sensors. The stealth system wrapped his ship in a field that absorbed all electromagnetic radiation. To the Crithians, the Retribution simply did not exist. That was exactly how Marcus wanted it. He watched the enemy fleet on his tactical display and felt cold satisfaction. The Crethians had positioned themselves exactly where Admiral Morrison predicted they would. Their arrogance made them predictable. They believed humans were no threat. They were about to learn otherwise. All stations report status, Marcus said calmly. Weapons hot and ready, sir. His tactical officer replied, graviton projectors at full charge. Quantum disruptors armed. All missile tubes loaded. Engineering reports full power. Stealth systems holding steady. Navigation, standing by for combat maneuvers. Marcus nodded. His crew had trained for this moment for years. Every person on board was a volunteer. Every person knew they might not survive the next few hours. But they also knew they were humanity's best chance for survival. That knowledge gave them courage. Communications, open a channel to all Phoenix units. Marcus ordered. When the channel opened, he spoke clearly. All ships, this is Webb on Retribution. We drop stealth in 30 seconds. Target priority is there. Command vessels. Heed them hard, heed them fast, and keep moving. Make every shot count. For Earth. For humanity. 11 other captains responded with confirmation. 12 Phoenix-class warships prepared to reveal themselves. 12 experimental vessels, equipped with technology that could level the playing field. 12 swords aimed at the heart of an empire that thought humanity was prey. The countdown reached 0. 12 ships dropped their stealth fields simultaneously and appeared throughout the Crithian formation like ghosts materializing from nowhere. The Retribution emerged directly behind Eternal Dominion, so close that Marcus could see the individual armor plates on the enemy's hull. Fire all weapons. Marcus commanded. The Retribution unleashed everything it had. Twin graviton projectors created focused beams of compressed gravity that hit the Crithian flagship's shields and crushed them like paper. The shields collapsed completely, something that should have been impossible. Before the Crithians could react, quantum disruptors fired. The beams struck Eternal Dominion's hull and began tearing the molecular bonds of the armor apart. Massive sections of the ship simply disintegrated into clouds of atoms. Asterisk. Supreme Overlord Vex felt his ship shudder violently. Alarms screamed throughout the bridge. Half his crew stations exploded in showers of sparks. He grabbed his command throne to stay upright, as the deck tilted beneath him. Report. What is happening? Vex roared. Unknown vessels attacking from multiple vectors. His sensor officer shouted over the chaos. Our shields are ineffective against their weapons. We have hull breaches on 30 decks. The reactor is destabilizing. Impossible. Vex stared at his tactical display and saw 12 red markers indicating human ships. But these were not the primitive vessels his intelligence had reported. These were something else entirely. Something deadly. The Retribution banked hard to port as return fire from other Crythian ships filled the space, where it had been moments before. Marcus pushed his engines to maximum. The Phoenix-class ships were faster and more maneuverable than anything the Crythians had. They could outrun, outmaneuver, and outfight the enemy vessels with ease. Target the reactor, Marcus ordered. One more shot, as she breaks apart. The quantum disruptors fired again. This time they penetrated deep into Eternal Dominion and struck the main power core. The reaction was immediate and catastrophic. The flagship's reactor went critical and exploded from within. The massive vessel broke into 3 large pieces that tumbled through space, trailing debris and bodies. Supreme Overlord Vex died without ever understanding what had killed him. Throughout the Crythian formation, chaos erupted. The Phoenix-class ships moved like dancers through the enemy fleet. They appeared, fired, and vanished before return fire could find them. Each shot was precisely targeted. Each attack devastated its victim. The Crythians had never faced an enemy like this. They had always been the technologically superior force. Now they were outmatched. Captain Elena Rodriguez commanded the Phoenix ship Thunderstrike. She brought her vessels screaming through the center of a Crythian battle group at speeds that should have torn a normal ship apart. Her graviton projectors fired continuously, collapsing shields and crushing hulls. 3 enemy cruisers exploded in rapid succession. Thunderstrike actual to all Phoenix units. Elena broadcast. Their command structure is breaking down. They are trying to regroup around their carrier groups. Do not let them organize. Keep hitting them. Engineer Lisa Park worked from Orbital Station Guardian 7, high above Earth. She controlled a network of 300 weapons satellites that the Crythians had dismissed as communication relays. Each satellite contained a high-energy particle beam capable of burning through battleship armor. Lisa had been waiting years for authorization to activate them. Now she had it. She pulled up her targeting interface and designated priorities. The satellites were arranged in groups of 50, each group covering a different sector of space around Earth. Lisa assigned targets with cold efficiency and pressed the activation command. 300 particle beams lanced through space simultaneously. They struck Crythian vessels from angles the aliens never expected. Shields that might have deflected the beams were already down from Phoenix-class attacks. The particle weapons burned through unprotected holes and gutted ships from the inside. Explosions blossomed across the battlefield like deadly flowers. Lisa watched her screens as enemy vessels died by the dozen. She felt no satisfaction, no joy, only grim determination. These aliens had killed over 200,000 humans without hesitation. She would show them the same mercy they had shown her people. None at all. A Crythian destroyer broke formation and attempted to target Guardian 7. Lisa saw it coming on her sensors. She redirected Satellite Group 3 and hit the destroyer with 50 beams at once. The ship vanished in a ball of superheated plasma that lit up local space. The battle raged 4 hours. The Crythians tried repeatedly to regroup and coordinate their attacks, but the Phoenix-class ships were everywhere at once. Captain James Chun, on the warship Vengeance, used his quantum disruptors to tear apart a Crythian carrier before it could launch its fighters. Captain Sarah Kim, on the vessel Defiant, created a graviton field that crushed 5 enemy ships together like tin cans. The experimental weapons performed beyond expectations. Admiral Sarah Morrison coordinated the entire battle from Luna Command. She watched multiple tactical displays showing every ship, every weapon, and every movement in real time. The quantum communication network gave her instantaneous control over all human forces. She directed Phoenix units to intercept Crythian retreat attempts. She ordered satellite groups to target damaged vessels. She orchestrated the battle like a conductor leading an orchestra of destruction. Admiral, the enemy is attempting to flee the system. Her tactical officer reported, 60 ships breaking formation and heading for jump distance. Do not let them escape. Sarah commanded coldly. I want every hostile vessel either destroyed or captured. No survivors return to their empire with intelligence about our capabilities. Phoenix units pursued the fleeing craft. The experimental ships were faster even at maximum acceleration. They caught the enemy vessels before they could reach safe jump distance. One by one, the Crithian ships died. Some surrendered. Most fought until they were torn apart. Within 6 hours of the battle beginning, the Crithian armada was destroyed. Captain Marcus Webb brought the retribution alongside a disabled Crithian cruiser. The enemy vessel was venting atmosphere and drifting powerless. Its crew was signaling surrender. Marcus accepted and dispatched boarding teams to take prisoners. He needed intelligence. He needed to know if more Crithian forces were coming. The interrogation of captured Crithians revealed critical information. The attack fleet had been an expeditionary force, one of dozens the Crithian Empire maintained for conquering new territory. They had detected human colonies during a long-range survey and decided to eliminate what they viewed as a primitive infestation. They had not reported back to their empire yet. They had planned to do so after Earth was destroyed. Admiral Morrison received this intelligence and made an immediate decision. We attack them first. If the Crithian Empire thinks we are weak, we need to correct that assumption permanently. Prepare the Phoenix fleet for deep space operations. We are taking the war to them. The counterattack came 3 weeks later. 12 Phoenix-class warships, accompanied by 50 conventional human vessels, jumped into Crithian space. They targeted military installations, shipyards, and command centers. The Crithians were completely unprepared for an assault on their home territory. They had never been attacked before. They had always been the aggressors. The human fleet struck with overwhelming force. Admiral Morrison had learned from the initial battle. She knew humanity could not win a prolonged war against an established empire, but she could make that empire understand the cost of fighting humans. She could make them fear what would happen if they continued. Captain Elena Rodriguez led the assault on a major Crithian shipyard. The Thunderstrike and 3 other Phoenix ships appeared without warning and began systematically destroying every vessel under construction. Graviton beams tore half-finished warships apart. Quantum disruptors dissolved construction facilities. Within an hour, the shipyard that had taken the Crithians 20 years to build was reduced to floating wreckage. The message was clear. Humanity could strike anywhere, anytime. The Crithians could not defend everything. They could not predict where the next attack would come. For the first time in their history, the Crithian Empire felt vulnerable. Asterisk. The war lasted 6 months. Humanity conducted hit-and-run attacks across Crithian territory. They destroyed military assets and avoided civilian targets. The goal was not genocide but deterrence. Admiral Morrison wanted the Crithians to understand that continuing the war would cost them everything. The Crithian High Council finally requested negotiations. They sent a diplomatic ship under a flag of truce. Admiral Morrison accepted and agreed to meet at a neutral location. The negotiations took place on a small moon halfway between human and Crithian space. The Crithian ambassador was an elderly male named Corvan. He had 8 arms instead of the usual 4, a sign of great age and status among his people. He looked across the negotiating table at Admiral Morrison with eyes that showed genuine fear. "Your species surprised us," Corvan said through his translation device. "We underestimated you. We assumed you were weak because you were young. We were wrong." Sarah Morrison did not smile. "You killed over 200,000 of my people. You destroyed 6 of our colonies. You attacked Earth itself without provocation. Why should I not finish what you started? Because continuing this war serves neither of our interests." Corvan replied, "You have proven your strength. You have shown us that humanity can defend itself. We acknowledge this. We propose a treaty. Human space will be recognized as sovereign territory. Crithian forces will withdraw." Completely. We will establish a demilitarized zone between our empires. And what guarantee do I have that you will not attack again once you rebuild your fleet? Sarah asked. Corvin gestured with multiple arms and what might have been a shrug. You have our word, but I understand that means little after what we have done. So I offer this instead. We will share technology with you. We will provide star charts showing all known hostile species. We will establish an embassy on Earth. Our two peoples will trade, communicate, and build trust over time. We were enemies because we were ignorant. Let us become something better. Sarah considered the offer. Humanity had won the war, but at significant cost. Continuing to fight would drain resources needed for rebuilding. And the Crithians were not the only threat in the galaxy. There would be others. I accept your terms with conditions. Said, the demilitarized zone will be monitored by joint patrols. Any violation results in immediate military response. Your empire will pay reparations for the colonies you've destroyed. And you will announce to every species within 100 light years what happened when you attacked humanity. You will make sure everyone knows the cost of threatening Earth. Corvin agreed to all conditions. The treaty was signed that day. The war between humanity and the Crithian Empire ended not with total victory for either side, but with mutual respect, born from blood and fire. The Crithians learned that humans were not prey. Humanity learned that the galaxy was dangerous and they needed to be ready. 2 years later, Captain Marcus Webb stood on the observation deck of Luna Command, watching Earth rotate peacefully below. The planet had been rebuilt. The colonies had been restored. Humanity had emerged from the war stronger and more unified than ever before. The Phoenix Protocol was no longer a secret. 12 experimental warships had become 60. The weapon satellites had been upgraded and expanded. Earth was ready for whatever came next. Admiral Sarah Morrison joined him at the window. She had retired from active duty but remained as an advisor to Earth Command. Her hair had gone completely white during the war. She looked tired but satisfied. Do you think they will come back? Marcus. The Crithians. No, Sarah replied. We taught them a lesson they will never forget. They thought we were weak because we were peaceful. They learned that peace is a choice, not a weakness. When threatened, humanity shows its true nature. We protect our own. We defend our home. We do not surrender. She turned to look at Marcus. But there are other species out there. Some will be friendly. Some will be hostile. We cannot hide anymore. The galaxy knows we exist. We need to be ready, Marcus nodded. The Phoenix fleet is expanding. New technologies are being developed. We are building alliances with species that share our values. Humanity is not alone anymore. Sarah smiled slightly. Good, because the next threat will come eventually. It always does, but when it arrives, they will find us ready. They will find us strong, and they will learn the same lesson the Crithians learned. You do not attack humanity without consequences. She placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder. We gave them a warning. We told them to cease attacking or witness our true wrath. They chose poorly. The next enemy will make a better choice. Marcus looked out at Earth and thought about everything humanity had accomplished. They had gone from a single planet to an interstellar civilization. They had survived first contact with a hostile empire. They had proven themselves worthy of their place among the stars. The future was uncertain, but humanity would face it together, united, prepared, and unafraid. The Phoenix Protocol had saved them, but more importantly, Humanity had saved itself through courage, ingenuity, and an unwillingness to accept defeat. They had shown the galaxy that Earth would defend itself, that humans would fight for their survival, that threatening humanity was the last mistake any species would ever make. Admiral Morrison left the observation deck and returned to her office. There were reports to review, strategies to develop, and preparations to make. The war was over, but the work continued. Earth needed guardians. Humanity needed protectors, and she would make certain they were ready for whatever tomorrow brought. In the depths of space, alien civilizations received the broadcasts the Crithians had sent as part of their treaty obligations. They learned about humanity's hidden strength. They learned about the Phoenix-class warships and the weapons that could tear apart shielded vessels. They learned that Earth was not defenseless prey but a dangerous opponent. Some species noted this information and decided to avoid human space entirely. Others became curious and sent peaceful diplomatic missions. A few began planning their own attacks, convinced they could succeed where the Crithians failed. They would learn the same lesson eventually. Earth had issued its final warning. The galaxy had been given fair notice. Humanity would defend itself with every weapon at its disposal. They had proven it once. They would prove it again if necessary. The age of humanity hiding in the shadows was over. Earth had taken its place among the stars as a force to be respected, feared, and never underestimated. The Crithian Empire rebuilt slowly, forever changed by their encounter with humanity. They became allies instead of enemies, trading partners instead of conquerors. The war that almost destroyed both civilizations became the foundation for lasting peace. But neither side forgot the lessons learned in fire and blood. Humanity had shown its true power, not just in weapons and technology, but in determination and unity. When threatened with extinction, humans did not break. They fought back with everything they had. They protected their own. They defended their home. And they made certain that anyone who threatened Earth would regret it. The final warning had been given. The true wrath had been witnessed. The galaxy would remember,